You built a service, exposed it to the world with a load balancer, and it worked. One service, one public IP, done. Easy. Then you added a second service. And a third. Each one needs its own load balancer, so now you're running 3 separate cloud load balancers, each burning its own public IP. 3 load balancers means 3 cloud bills and 3 IPs to babysit, and you still have no HTTPS, no clean URLs, nothing smart. This falls apart the moment you're past a toy app. One app and a growing pile of load balancers. There has to be a better way, a single front door for the whole cluster that routes everything behind it. That thing is Ingress, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how it works. Quick bridge if you saw the last video. In the Kubernetes networking video, we followed a packet all the way to the edge of the cluster and met a smart concierge at the front door, the Ingress. We waved at it and moved on. Today we walk right up to that desk and see exactly how it works. If Ingress has ever confused you, this is the one to stick with. So why can't we just expose every service directly? There are 2 blunt ways to do it. The first is a node port, a random side door on every node. It opens a high-numbered port, somewhere between 30,000 and 32,000 on every machine in the cluster. It works, but you're handing users an IP and a weird port number, with no names and no HTTPS. The second is a load balancer service, the one we started with. In the cloud, it provisions a real external load balancer. Much cleaner, but it's one whole load balancer, one IP, and one bill for every single service. And it still can't route by URL or terminate HTTPS. It just forwards a port. Both are fine for one service. Neither survives a real application with 10 or 20 of them. We need something that sits in front of everything and routes intelligently. That's the job Ingress was invented for. Picture your whole cluster as a single office building with exactly one front door. Outside is a visitor from the internet. Just inside that door sits a concierge with a directory, and behind him, a whole floor of offices. The web app, the API, the shop, each its own service. One entrance, one concierge, many offices behind him. The visitor never wanders the halls. They tell the concierge who they're here to see, and he sends them to the right office. Hold on to that picture, because Ingress is exactly this. Now here's the thing that trips up almost everyone. People install Ingress, apply a YAML file, refresh the browser, and nothing happens. No error, no routing, nothing. The reason is that Ingress isn't one thing, it's secretly 2. The first half is the Ingress controller, the gate, the engine. This is a real reverse proxy, something like NGINX, Envoy, or Traffic, actually running as pods inside your cluster. It's the piece that physically moves traffic. It's the concierge in the flesh, standing at the door. The second half is the Ingress resource, the map, the rules. This is just a YAML object you apply. For this host and this path, send traffic to that service. It's the directory sheet the concierge reads. On its own, it does absolutely nothing. It's a piece of paper. So there's the whole puzzle in one line. The gate does the work, the map tells it where. Miss either one and nothing routes. That YAML that seemed to do nothing, you almost certainly never installed a controller to read it. Let's take those 2 halves one at a time. First, the gate, the Ingress controller, the actual engine at the door, the thing that moves real traffic. Understand this piece and the rest clicks into place. The Ingress controller is our concierge on duty. And critically, it's not magic built into Kubernetes. It's software you install, running as ordinary pods inside the cluster, doing the work day and night. Under the hood, it's a battle-tested reverse proxy. The most common one is the NGINX Ingress controller, but Envoy and Traffic are popular too. You pick one and install it, and that choice is what actually terminates connections and forwards requests. And here's its real trick. It constantly watches the Kubernetes API server for Ingress rules. The moment a rule appears or changes, the controller notices, It's always listening for a new directory sheet to follow. So the controller is a live reverse proxy that reprograms itself from whatever rules it sees. And that's the #1 beginner mistake. With no controller running, your Ingress YAML is just paper. Nobody's reading it. So the gate is running and listening. Now, what is it listening for? The second half, the Ingress resource. The map that tells the gate where every request should go, and it's just a little YAML. The Ingress resource is nothing more than a directory sheet. It's a Kubernetes object of kind ingress, and inside it you write a short list of routing rules, nothing else. A rule reads almost like plain English. Requests to the path/API go to the API service on port 8080. One line, one destination. Add another. /web goes to the web service on port 80. You just keep listing rules, this path to that service, as many as you need. And that's all it is, pure configuration. Rules, not machinery. It never touches a packet itself. It's completely useless until a running gate picks it up and enforces it. The map needs the concierge. So how do the two halves actually connect? You write the map and hand it to Kubernetes, kubectl apply, and the API server just stores those ingress rules. At this point, nothing is routing yet. The rules are simply on file. But remember, the controller is always watching the API server. The instant your new rules land, it sees them, a fresh directory sheet has arrived at the desk, and it immediately rewrites its own proxy configuration to match new paths, new backends, wired up on the spot. So the loop is beautiful. You write the map, and the gate reconfigures itself live with no restart and no downtime. Change the YAML, and seconds later traffic follows the new rules. That's the whole controller plus resource dance. Now for the payoff, the reason Ingress exists in the first place. One IP address, many destinations. This is how a single front door quietly replaces that whole pile of load balancers we started with. The first kind of routing is path-based. A visitor arrives at one IP, one domain, example.com, and hits the concierge. Everyone comes through the same door. The URL path decides where they go from there. A request for /API. The concierge sends it down the hall to the API service. A request for /web, straight to the web service instead. And /shop goes to the shop service. One IP, one door, and the path is simply the room number. 3 services, 3 destinations, one public address in front of all of them. The second kind of routing is host-based, and it's just as powerful. Here 2 different host names, shop.example.com and api.example.com, both point at the very same Ingress IP. When a request comes in for shop.example.com, the concierge reads that name and routes it to the shop service. And a request for api.example.com, arriving at the identical IP, goes to the API service instead. Same door, different nameplate. So you can host many completely separate sites behind one entry point. The concierge just reads the name on the letter. Path routing and host routing, and you can combine them freely. That's traffic control. There's one more thing every real app needs, and Ingress handles it in a way that saves you enormous pain. The padlock, HTTPS. And the clever part is where it gets handled once, at the door, instead of inside every single app. A visitor sends an encrypted HTTPS request. It arrives at the Ingress still locked. No one along the way can read it. So who unlocks it? The Ingress does. It holds the TLS certificate, stored as a Kubernetes secret, and it terminates the encryption right there at the door. This is called TLS termination. It's the ID check at the desk, and the concierge is the one who performs it. From that point inward, on the cluster's own private network, it forwards the request as plain HTTP to whichever backend service it's headed for. The API and web pods receive ordinary, already decrypted traffic. So you manage one certificate in one place at the door, and the apps inside never touch crypto at all. No certificates baked into every container, No HTTPS code in every service. Add a new app tomorrow and it's automatically covered. That's a huge simplification. Which brings us to the question everyone Googles, Ingress versus load balancer. Here's the clean answer. A load balancer service works at layer 4, raw TCP. It sees one service, it costs one whole load balancer per service, and it knows nothing about paths, hostnames, or TLS. It just moves bytes to a port. Ingress works at layer 7, HTTP and HTTPS. It fronts many services through one shared door, and it does all the smart stuff. Path routing, host routing, and TLS termination. One entry point, understanding the actual web request. So the one-liner is, a load balancer moves traffic, but Ingress understands it. And here's the detail that finally makes it click. They're not really rivals. Your Ingress controller itself is usually exposed to the internet through a single load balancer. So instead of one load balancer per service, you get one load balancer for the whole cluster, with a smart router sitting right behind it. That's the sprawl from slide 1, solved. Let's replay one request end-to-end. It starts with a user out on the internet, typing your address into a browser. It lands on one public IP, the single front door for everything behind it. There, its HTTPS is decrypted, TLS terminated once at the door. The Ingress controller, the gate, the running reverse proxy, takes it from there. It reads the map, your Ingress rules, and matches the request's host and path. And it forwards the request to exactly the right service. Browser to pod, through one intelligent door. Here's the color map to lock it in. Teal is the gate, the Ingress controller, the engine that runs. Amber is the map, the Ingress resource, the YAML rules you write. Coral is the routing itself, by path and by host. And green is TLS, terminated once at the door. 2 parts, 2 kinds of routing, 1 certificate, the whole of Ingress on a single map. Pause and screenshot this one. So there it is. The controller is the gate that moves traffic. The resource is the map that tells it where. You get one IP with path and host routing, and TLS is handled at the door. Ingress isn't confusing anymore. It's just a concierge with a directory. But here's where it starts to strain. One Ingress works beautifully, until you pile on TLS settings, URL rewrites, rate limits, and canary rules, all crammed into one file that every team has to share and edit. It turns into a swamp of vendor-specific annotations. Who untangles that? That's the whole next video. The Kubernetes Gateway API, Ingress, reorganized by role, so each team owns its own piece. Go watch it next, and tell me in the comments which Ingress annotation bit you first, and if walking up to the concierge finally made Ingress click. The gate, the map, the routing, the padlock at the door. Hit like and subscribe for more Kubernetes and system design deep dives. I'll see you at the next front door.